The most effective guard against delinquency is a father, or we can say parent, who are both at the same time strict and loving. Lovely viewers, welcome to your favorite program, the Daily Trend Francophone Edition, season finale here on New World TV, where we'll be discussing issues and important, crucial matters. We can also try to shed light on some matters that maybe you might not think quite sensible, but we can bet on this, that this one is really, really sensitive. And here, of course, I am not alone today again. I have here Mr. David. How are you doing?
I'm good. And you?
And Mr. Samson.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Okay, so the topic for today brings me to one event that happened back during the COVID-19 period. They call it the Lomotive event. I know you remember that.
Of course, we do remember it.
Sure. Where students got involved in
schools.
Making videos,
Yes.
doing immoral activities.
The uniform.
And then they used this application Lomotive to do this video, and then
Yes.
they sent it online.
Yes.
And I can also assure you guys that these people are not in school today as a punishment.
Yeah, they have a punishment, a sweet punishment they
Of
have
course.
been given to them due to the fact they committed
Yes.
in their school uniform. And that is...
Oh, in their school uniform, to be precise. So today we'll be talking about juvenile delinquency and social vices. So we have different terms in this subject. We could say juvenile, delinquency, social, and vices. So juvenile means like we are talking about youth, we are talking about young people, people that are not yet mature. Delinquency, we are talking about law breaking, misconduct. So when we bring these two terms together, what does it give us?
Try to give the definition.
Yeah.
Juvenile delinquency is just an activity, an act, a behavior committed by a minor, like a youth under 18 age. And this is act that a youth committed that is punishable by law.
By law, for example.
For
For me personally, juvenile delinquency can be defined as any act that a youth under the age of 18 commits negative and had that particular negative effect on him, himself, and on the society as a whole.
Wait, I want to understand
Yes.
something. He said negative effect. So does that mean that the act being committed also has a positive effect?
Yeah, that we have many acts, positive acts and negative acts, but juvenile delinquency has to do with the negative one.
Like crimes,
Of course.
wrongdoing.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
okay. So we are trying to say that juvenile delinquency is any act, any criminal act, we can say, any act that is against the norms, laws, or regulations of a society or a country
course.
that is being committed by any young person below the age of 18.
And the main point here is that is the age, because when we precise it, juvenile delinquency is this act that committed by the youth, and we have a lot of them, like robbery. We have murder, for example, a lot of things.
Yeah, and also we can also compare both of them, because that particular
You mean
act.
juvenile delinquency and social vices?
No. Like if we take juvenile delinquency versus a crime.
Oh,
If, for example, you are adults and you misbehave, and that particular misbehavior is against the norms
law.
and rules and regulation of the society, that one we call a crime. But if you are a youth below the age of 18, that one we call it juvenile delinquency. Yes.
okay. So what about social vices?
Social vices, based on my understanding or in my opinion on social vices, in any activities, any immoral or unlawful activities like in the society, like I can mention, stealing, robbing, gambling, prostitution.
Yeah, we have a lot of things.
Smoking,
Mr. David, you just said stealing.
stealing.
Yes.
So wait,
Smoking.
those times I'm very much more convinced
Yes.
that those times you stole meat from your mommy's pot. So you were also partaking in this activity, right?
Small, I
Like,
guess.
did you admit?
We are not talking about but the kind of
No,
stealing you're
but do
talking
you
about here.
admit?
The stealing you're mentioning here is in high level.
Yes, high
High
level
level.
type of,
Senior
Stealing.
brother stealing.
Yeah.
Okay, so social vices, we also have we have murder, like you said. We have evil or wicked or immoral activities like courtesan, galism, people who pickpocket too. Because people, you just said, okay, we were talking about you stealing in the pod, and you said that's a junior brother, right?
Pickpocketing.
So pickpocketing can be considered as small style of stealing, something like that. But it is also
that's
part
one
of,
that's one is very is not
it's part of social vices.
social vices.
Of course.
Okay, so anything, rape, murder, smoking, all of these
they are social vices.
morally unacceptable behaviors that can go contrary to the law or the rules and regulations of a society,
The one
are
we are
considered
seeing,
as social vices.
we have social vices in our society.
Like
the one you mentioned, Lomé.
oh yeah,
Lomé. This
I
one
said that intentionally.
This one I really they punish the gift to this student because it was not fair. I didn't know what has really happened to
some
them, come to
also
their minds for doing that.
were jailed.
Okay, he said
even for 2
he
or
said
3
he really
days.
didn't know what happened, like how it went.
Yeah.
And you think it's injustice for
It-
the way they've been punished.
No,
Like-
if they were not punished, there
They
will
will
be
continue
this
in that in the same direction.
There will be this attente, like these opportunities for others to do it or to commit it again.
Because some
So-
people were on the way to do that kind of act, but it's in the instances whereby they saw that those people that did the same thing were jailed because of that or were punished because of that, so they didn't
There is
even
something
venture in
you
that
need to
direction.
understand. These people did videos exposing their private parts.
That's,
They were like committing sexual activities in class, and you said in uniform, which was right.
Yeah.
And it was like a competition between schools because this school did
Going
it. And these
viral.
people said, okay, we are better than you in terms of social vices. And then you say, like, it's injustice for the way they were punished.
But
They're students. Most of them are minors.
Let me also try something because for any art, I need there must be punishment or there must be a reward. What they did is to correct them, to avoid, because their younger sister or young generation are watching
that are
and
coming.
they are coming. So if there was not any punish, I think they will continue doing it. So it is
Exactly.
right. But let me shift to the juvenile delinquency.
Yeah.
Because we do have different type of juvenile delinquencies. We have the individual juvenile delinquency and
The group
one.
Collective one.
Collective
Collective
one.
one.
If I take, for example, juvenile, the individual one is the acts, committed by the person himself. And when we take group one, collective one, we are in the group and we are working together. It's like a kind of association, and we intentionally commit in company with others to cause havoc or to cause problem in the society. Do you see? This is a kind of clarification I would like to bring about the juvenile delinquency.
And let's look at the family size, for example.
Yes,
we
I think that's one major cause.
We have a family, and in that particular family, we have many children that we can control, and some of them don't want, for example, to eat, but that particular food that they want to eat is not available in the house, so they rather prefer to go out and indulge themselves in some acts that will not benefit them. Right? They can go, pickpocketing, right? They can go and steal someone's money, someone's something, in order to satisfy their need, right?
I have also one point. The major roots of this problem is a story, but I will not take the time to narrate all the story. Sometimes it's lack of interest or lack of self-esteem or lack of interest towards this person. Some people they lack this feeling that
like
no
when
one
this person
cares.
lacks attention.
No one cares about them. No one is taking care or feeling. But some people they may lost their parents or their mother.
Especially the orphans.
The orphans.
Or these street children.
In this situation, they are lonely. They are alone. Someone who is like is there to give hope is coming, always giving him hope. But that is the wrong person. So they align with this person in the name of finding hope, in the name of finding shelter in the person's house. But finally, is what? The person will lure them. I was raised in a society, because I was born in Nigeria. I was in a society where I have some friends. I will not mention their names. These friends.
You better not.
I will not mention names because
you don't want to have offenders.
No, I don't want to be offended if you are on media or I'm trying to.
Go on.
The way I was raised was quietly different from the way that guy was raised. He lost his father, and he was with his his grandmother. The way this guy, but recently, when I go to Nigeria, if I see this guy recently is joining bad club, like
that brings us to another cause: peer pressure.
I did not
He
understand.
didn't have a choice. He didn't have a choice. He has a lot of needs, and he didn't even have income or means of providing for himself. So then his friends would just be like, do something like this, do something like this,
And then
you
they
have the
will
solution.
follow.
So he doesn't have a choice.
And the friend you are talking about, and they are really supporting him. They are feeding him. They are taking care
Yes,
of
to
him. They are
him,
doing
it seems
everything.
like support because he's lacking attention, he's lacking provision, and
that particular attention, I remember in my childhood, my father always tell me, for example, if I want to go out to play football, because we used to play football just outside our house. So once I heard the noise, I said, oh, my mates are there, so I want to go out and play football. Say, no, you are not going anywhere.
You're nowhere.
So in the instances whereby I feel, okay, those people are distracted, I go out. If you come back, know exactly that you will be flogged, right? So this is also lack of attention that you make. People should also try as much as possible to...
Okay, so that lack of attention, we can put it also as a family discord, or we can say broken home, for example.
Family discord,
That's another expanded way to say, because when we have another cause, which is a large family size, the extended family, for example, the parents don't have the time. They say they want to work so that they can provide for all of the children. So they don't have time to like perform their parental duties and also guide these children. So these children they do anything they like when they like, because actually there is almost no parental supervision.
Yes.
So it's likely for them to join groups. For example, these minors we have in universities, they have tendencies to join cults, for example.
Yeah, cults.
That's a very dangerous one.
Dangerous one.
And to poor parenting skills, like I said, and also child abuse and management.
Do you know that sleep also can be a cause of this? Because
I don't understand.
Yeah, I read on an article published on social media.
Yeah.
So saying that if you are not sleeping the time you should sleep, because human body needs an amount of sleep,
8
right?
hours for
So
memory.
if you are not sleeping, you are likely to be dangerous towards the society. As soon as I read this, I was like, oh, how? Because me
So
personally,
then you started sleeping more.
of course.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm afraid.
And based on that point, we are talking about sleeping. Dear viewers, we'll be going for a quick break since the topic is getting more interesting. We'll be coming back, and hold on the points. You'll get more from us. Once again, welcome back. We are talking about juvenile delinquency and social vices. We tackle a lot of points, defining it and talking about the genesis or the roots of all this problem. Right now, we'll be focusing on more this same topic. We'll be talking about the social vices. I would like to know, Mr. Samson, what do you understand? Because you defined it earlier on, but can you give a more clarification about?
Yes. So for me personally, social vices are any deviant behavior that some people or even one single person can commit, and that particular action is first immoral and is against rules and regulation of the society as a whole.
Yes, the society as a whole. Do you attest with that this is a deviation attitude or
deviant behavior?
Deviant art or behavior.
I think he has a point. I think he has a point actually, because social vices, it can be something committed by one person, or we can say a group of people in a society or in a country. And that brings me to the case of Nigeria. People normally think that Nigeria is one of the best countries when it comes to corruption. Like they say Nigeria is the father of corruption. But let me shock you guys. Like in USA, apart from Nigeria, in USA, more than 1.7 million juvenile delinquency cases were deposited in the year 1997. Can you imagine that 2,000 of the aforementioned cases were criminal homicides, like criminal homicide? 6,500 in the case of forceful rapes. rape cases, while aggravated assault cases totaled 69,500. Like, this is really exaggerating. Like, I have nothing against US. Like, US is my best country. But, like, when I hear every time they say Nigeria, like, corruption, I feel like, is Nigeria only the country, like, that has this negative aspect?
And talking about the example we mentioned, recently, I don't know if you watch what's happened in Texas. A student, just killing his, other students, especially 19 students, including 2 teachers. Including 2 teachers. So these are the social vices problem we are having in the society. Nigerian one is all over. They are talking about it. You see on social media, fraudsters. Yahoo or 419.
Exactly.
You know that, for example.
The Yahoo
this is that kind of ad. That majority of young people are indulging themselves in that kind of act. For example, you'll be on your phone or computer and be scamming someone,
extorting money from people. Like,
they are very professional in it, especially Nigerian. They are very professional.
They're really skilled.
Let's talk about premarital sex. So premarital sex is just a sex that you have, although you are not married. Like, for example, we can also mention casual sex. So you are not actually married, and you are having intercourse with each other. That what we call premarital sex is also part of the social vices that we do have.
I would really like to. It's not a debate, of course.
Okay.
I would really like to admit to that fact.
Yeah.
But when he said premarital sex, like before marriage, there's something we need to know. Our case here is about like minors. So when it's like you are trying to tell the society that everybody, it's like you are telling them, you are pointing at them directly, that everybody that is having sexual affair with anybody, any kind of person, like outside marriage or before marriage. Is actually also part of
the social vices.
Included in social vices.
We include everybody. It's not like the juvenile delinquency that we talk about. The social vices includes everyone, right?
But don't forget, also social vices also covers and also reiterate the part of the age.
Yes.
That is minors.
I do agree.
So you agree to that?
Yeah,
you agree to that.
One of the points of the social vices, when we are talking about delinquency, you say something about
misconduct,
bad
law
company.
breaking.
Don't forget, there is a saying that always say that show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. Bad companies always will lure you to another thing.
Corrupt good manners.
Exactly. It will corrupt your manners, your habits, your virtues. They will corrupt it, no matter who you are.
And also another fundamental cause of social vices, we can say, for example, bad economic condition. For example, like the country is suffering really when it comes to economy, when it comes to like standard of living. The country is having a very poor standard of living. I don't think that people that are living in this kind of country will have any, like, there's no job opportunity because economically the country is down. So they wouldn't even have any choice but to indulge in anything that can bring them money, that can bring them food to the table. That is where I would talk about prostitution. When girls indulge in prostitution just to get money.
Yeah, I was actually going home and one woman saw me. And that particular woman was telling me, "Oh, will you mind marrying me?"
Jeez.
I was like,
"Oh my God."
Hey, on my way. And come and greet me at least. I have 2 intentions. First is the spiritual aspect, and the second one is the social aspect.
Mr. Samson.
We are talking about
he said spiritual aspect.
The spiritual aspect is what?
You were deceived by Delilah.
You know something?
Because
the prostitution she's trying to say.
Yeah.
One of the root of it is also sometimes young people today, they like watching pornography.
Of course.
Pornography.
One of the social vices that we do have.
Pornography they like with their smartphone today.
Yes.
They will lock themselves somewhere with their data or Wi-Fi. They will be focused on it. You think they are learning, but they use a lot of time watching all sorts of things that will lead them to another kind of...
We have also alcoholism.
That one in society.
That one we have is in status quo.
Every drink that they like produce, they will be like not advisable for anybody below 18. But you would see 13 years people like they would be like diving themselves into alcohol. When you say, you'll be like,
smoking.
I know nothing.
Don't
Smoking
too.
Yes.
They are smoking everything: marijuana, weed,
everything
that's literally drug abuse.
They're smoking everything.
Drug abuse.
That is their mind now.
That is destroying their mind. That will bring about madness.
And will lead to another thing.
Exactly. Yes. That's one critical effect of these activities.
Yes.
For example, the mental health is at risk.
I have example, a guy, the guy after smoking the weed, after smoking and your system is traumatized, everything is, dysfunction, and the guy came home, they didn't cook. Imagine what will happen. Because he's very angry himself, because
that stimulates the hormones, and then he becomes like more aggressive, for example.
The guy, they are called what they call beating. Beats,
anybody?
In the
siblings.
House. Siblings, everything.
Yes, I have evidence. In my area, we have one guy, and I will not mention the person's name. The guy is like a treat for the whole family because the guy actually smokes weed. So as soon as the guy enters home, everybody is like this because people are afraid of the guy. Because if the guy wants something and you don't provide the guy with that particular thing that the guy wants, the guy will be doing what? Will be flogging everybody. Will be doing activities, immoral activities.
Sometimes I think that most of these threats are what that children learn from their parents.
Yes.
For example, someone who is coming out from a broken home,
Yes.
or someone who is an orphan and then lived with his auntie or something like that, and then he's been mistreated and he went through lots of things. And even Edgar Hovey says that, but one way to eliminate juvenile delinquency is by providing each child in America with a competent parent. I think it doesn't only concern the Americans, but Africa and any other continent. Because very important that kids should follow their parents' advice and not their example. Like, for example, you can come from a broken home and you have a good behavior. You would adhere to anything that is appropriate.
I have one point. When we are talking about that, the point is education.
Yes.
What are we teaching our children at home today? Our society's also environment is one of the points. You see some people now today, when they are raising children, instead of children lead the child on the way he should go, and when he will be old, he will not deviate from it. We need to settle a guideline that will lead these students to a better future. But if you are taking like egg, you do something instead of correcting, beating him, stopping that. You say no, he is a child, he is not old enough to be beaten. You will see another because.
Yes,
children,
it will bring about something else. And also,
so they should bring Cain back to the system.
We are talking about the Cain we are talking here is not like beating, destroying everything, but we are talking about correcting. The person is wrong. Correct.
Like spare the rod, and then you spoil the child.
Yes.
And we should not forget that socialization commences from the house, like from home, before going outside. That's why people say charity begins at home. So the way you train your children in the house, and not only the way you are being trained, you yourself can take it upon yourself to learn from learn good things you see from people, because apart from the fact that you are being trained, you have a parent who should guide you. You also have your own sense. Like you have your sense of discerning between good and bad.
Because you can be following people that are, in a wrongful advert. You'll be different from them. And also, let's not forget one major cause, which is what's gambling.
Yeah.
Betting. Because there are some people who indulge themselves in that kind of act. In my area, for example, we have that particular woman who says orange. And as soon as that woman finishes selling orange, the woman come and sit down before a casino and start pouring all the money into the casino until all the money finishes. And sometime by God's grace, he finds something that casino, give to her. And that is very, very crucial, because that particular gambling that we are talking about, if you are focusing, we have also lottery that our fathers are doing, and they can't do away with that particular thing.
They become addicted to it.
Yes, they are addicted to that particular thing. And if they don't do it, like we can say that this is like a water for them. If they don't do it, they cannot survive. This is what we have, in status quo nowadays.
Saying all these things now, what can we do in order to eradicate this problem in our society? Because I think it can be done if we really indulge.
So far as the problem is this, there's a solution.
Yes.
So aside the fact that we have a lot of effects of these activities that our youth engage themselves in, they shouldn't forget that anything that has a good side have a bad side. But in this case, I think the bad side is winning.
Yes.
So we should balance it and know that it's a very bad thing, and not to opt for this kind of activities, because it can contribute to putting at risk our mental health, our body, for example, those people that engage in tattooing and etc.
Yes.
And dropping out from school, for example, those children that I talked about, the motive, they are not going to school. And I know it's very difficult for them to even get a job now because they'll be like, they have spoiled their reputation.
Yes,
so it's very
because in the future, if, for example, they
sensitive.
want to be recruited, for example, they will say, okay, this is what you've done in the past. So based on that, we can take you can have a job. And also we have aids, for example. Aids and those people who are indulging themselves in the sexual assault or sexual rape cases also, that will bring also about abortion. The rate of abortion will be at a higher level.
One point I also say to this is like their dream will be jeopardized. So now I need the government to organize a forum to be teaching children especially about this thing. And also we, the youth, they need mentors that will be educating them. And also the society, we must advise and teach
and those organizations that go into NGO, defending children's rights
that is it.
And teaching them, organizing forums.
Moral values, virtues.
And also we should have a high level of discipline in schools. And also police should be on alert because wherever they hear, okay, this is what we are, what is going on in that particular area, they should come in directly. You see, this is what we can also do to eradicate that particular problem.
And so we also have the possibility of spending a life in prison. For example, these people, they have unachieved goals, like you said, they have spoiled their dreams, but they should know that there is also a way out. That's why we have rehabilitation homes that you go for correction. We also have Brigade pour mineurs in Togo here. They go, they correct them. And Togo has also taken the initiative and not to treat these people how they treat adults who commit crimes. That would help them to at least bring back themselves into order, learn more things. Because most of these people that are in these prisons, they also have dreams, they have talents. That also brings me to the point as a solution for creating a center for them, like where they can try to prove that they can become a better person and create initiatives where people would try to bring out the hidden talents in them.
And that reminds me of a story where they bring all those people that are committing that kind of acts into a center. They build a center for them and they are learning carpenter, like every job that they want to do, they are doing it there.
And so to avoid incarceration, they can also try to not avoid all of these activities, because this will not only harm the person in question or spoil the family's reputation, tarnish the image of the country, but also it is going to have a very big effect on the country's economy, because there's going to be a decrease in dependency ratio where there is job opportunity, for example, but there is no people to work because they have tarnished their image, and we wouldn't want to employ someone who is not having a good reputation to represent a company.
And also, I like to say this thing: conversation is everything. So these people, they need more to become
talk with people,
to talk with them, and to know from their background what really is the cause of all these things, and rather to help them. And the final one I can say it is like. This youth, they have dreams, they are very talented, they are instrumentally good. So they are the future of the generation of the countries. So they need to work on these guys, these children, these guys, in order to prepare them for better future.
And also we have to teach our children the moral values, because if they don't know the moral values, they will be like, okay, this is what my friend is doing, okay, let me follow them. You see, so this is also the moral value and the word of God. Because if you are, if you don't fear God, you'll be doing everything that you think.
The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom.
That is it. So, in school we should have discipline. The governments also should, that brings me about, that thing that the government are doing, because they have a law. To sue those things, those children that are committing that kind of those delinquents that are committing that kind of act into court, but they are not going to treat them, as you said it, as the way they treat adults. Yes, they will treat them accordingly. And okay, if they come back, for sure, so they will never indulge in that kind of act again.
And sometimes also we have some problem in the community. Sometimes it comes from the stepmothers, because the guy lost his mother or her mother, and a stepmother comes in, So the lady or the woman is treating her badly or
Yes,
him
child
badly.
abuse.
Child
Yeah,
abuse.
child abuse.
And also will
Mistreating them.
lead to another stage of what we are facing in the
Yes.
society. No matter, like, even though it is not your child, it is not your son,
We should
try
love
to
these children.
love them,
Yes.
care for them,
yeah,
and,
caring them.
communicate, because the guy is
Communication
already,
is very, very important.
he's already passing through a lot.
Yes.
Psychologically,
Psychologically.
he's passing through a lot. So you need to take care of, cherish them, pamper them, in order to be loved. They will feel that someone is caring and loving them.
Yes.
But if we are chasing them, we are maltreating them, and we are doing all
they
sorts
would
of
be,
things
they
to
will be
them,
more prone to
they-
these social vices.
Social vices.
Like,
so that is it.
they would even have no choice but just to
Yes.
give in to any of these things that
to
comes their
follow
way.
all those things. And also we should also try as much as possible to remove racism, because if you feel
Rejected or
rejected in the
discriminated, for
discriminator,
example.
of course, you'll be like, okay, so let me just follow those men that like me, in quotes, because you yourself, you think they love you, right? So this is that can also be my last word. So you should try as much as possible to be educated, because education is very, very paramount when it comes to social vices and juvenile delinquency.
Okay, so all being said, we should note that this is a very sensitive matter, and these are things that go on every day in the society, and we should not give in to any of these activities that come our way because maybe we don't have means, or maybe we don't know how to come around with these kind of issues. And aside the fact that these people have rights that they enjoy, they also have obligations and duties. So this brings us to the end to this episode of today's program. If you want to follow us on social media or throw in comments, you can catch us on YouTube, The Daily Trend on YouTube playlist, New World TV channel, or you can also catch us on Facebook, The Daily Trend, at Daily Trend TDT. We can also have the opportunity, or you can also watch us every Friday at 12:15 p.m. and 7:15 p.m. You can get the repeats on Sunday at 7:15 p.m.